Today I'm exploring a track by Joe Jackson, the song Steppin Out, a massive hit that became huge back in the 80s and still resonates today. If you don't know much about Joe Jackson, he actually started his career back in England, where he's from. And his first album, I'm the Man and Look Sharp, were actually albums that were more into the kind of punk rock style. Then he produced an album that it was jazz. He's actually very prolific in jazz music. And he created this album, Jumpin' Jive, that is a series of covers that he did back in the day. Then after a divorce, he moved to New York, where he pursued his career. And I want to say that he got fascinated by New York. Remember, in that time, New York had amazing music scene. You have the CBGBs, you have the Ramones, Blondie, and many Talking Heads, Klaus Nomi, and many other artists making something unique in music. He recorded this in Soho after moving to the East Village, so you can imagine how the East Village was back in the day. And I mean, you have the cover of this album that has the New York City landscape. He's here in the piano. He left actually New York and he lives in Berlin right now. And he is being very open about how the magic of New York actually is gone. And that's why he decided to move to Germany, where he considers one of the New York scenes back in the day. So very similar to that. Definitely New York is not what it used to be. I have to say that. I was fascinated by the music scene in places like Williamsburg, where I remember going to a pharmacy and I saw one of the members of TV on the radio, like looking for a deodorant, and then and we used to rehearse in places where MGMT was rehearsing on the side, and you see many artists that yeah, just walking in the streets and stuff like that. But if you've been to New York lately, and if you know Williamsburg now, it is mostly gone. But anyways, we're into Joe Jackson. So for this, I'm going to take a slight different approach in terms of how I'm going to be doing this recreation. I'm going to show you some processing in Logic Pro to see how I work on the piano. And then I'm going to focus on this machine, the KORG Rhythm 55. The KORG Rhythm 55 is the one that he used back in the day. This is a 1979 drum machine. And you can see more about this more in depth in one of the videos, actually the first videos that I did, where I talk about this machine. So you can, here in the channel, find this. I'm going to leave the link in the comments of this video so you can see it. And there's an amazing video, actually, and I'm going to leave that link in the comments too, where actually Joe Jackson is playing in Italy. And he's very famous for playing his songs not the way they are recorded in the albums. And he talked about how he used this machine to work in Steppin Out. He played all the instruments himself, and he wanted to capture the essence of New York. And if you take a look at the video clip, it's almost like a poem about New York, and it's a couple riding in a taxi enjoying the city lights of the city, which New York is famous for. Let's begin, and for this, I'm going to be using my KR55. I'm going to be using also my Juno-60 for the bass. I'm going to show you how I do the arpeggio with that. And the rest, that is the Glockenspiel, the piano, and an organ, I'm going to be doing that on Logic Pro. And again, this recreation, I just have to say that, is not going to be exact. It's my own interpretation. I'm going to try to be as close as possible as the original track, but it's not like a sound by sound dissection of this. It's mostly to get an idea of how he used this drum machine and sequence bass with a synthesizer to create this track. So let's begin. And we're going to do the bass for this, and I'm using my Juno-60. I love how my preset now is number 17 for my bass. Every time I use Juno-60, that's my patch, and I just tweak a little bit. I modify the frequency a little bit, and not much, and that's it. But we're going to use the arpeggio, so let me show you the sound. is what we're gonna play. And then we have the verse. And then there's something at the end. And it comes back. But we can use the arpeggio for that, which I already adjusted to be similar to the original track. So we're just gonna hold it. We have just the bass. And that's how it sounds. But we want to do this. The range, by the way, that I'm using is up and down the mode, and the range is number 1. Okay, so then we have this amazing drum machine that is the Rhythm 55, that it was entirely used for this song. We're gonna record the whole loop, but then we're gonna separate it so I have a better range of mixing when I put it on Logic Pro for post-production. It's as simple as that. The preset is Disco A, so it's this one. You can see, obviously, this doesn't have the exact BPMs, but it's around almost getting into almost 160 beats per minute. And this is pretty much the whole thing. Doesn't it sound amazing? And we can isolate this. Obviously, the fields are not exactly, so we're gonna do that in post-production. Okay, so let me show you how I work on the piano. I wanted to show you how you can use MIDI. So at the beginning, I actually play it very smooth. Something cool about actually the Studio Grand is that you can put the pedal noise, the key noise, so you can hear it in the sequence. So let me show you. I'm gonna put it all the way up so you can hear. You can hear like how the wood is like, and the pedal sounds. So it's really cool. You have very good pianos on Logic Pro. Then it increases. The piano gets a little more aggressive. So let me show you. If you are just like adding these in the sequence here, you can do it with the pencil in here by pressing Command. You're gonna have the same strength of the keys. So if you play it with a controller, obviously you're gonna get that strength variant because you're playing it live. But let's say that you don't have a keyboard and you have this. What you can do, and it's very manual, is like vary the intensity here, the velocity. So you can make it very soft. Or very aggressive. Super aggressive. Very smooth. Then you have the Glockenspiel, which actually I like it a lot. Which is actually very nice. And then you have the last part of the track, which is this one. Also, you have the organ. I'm gonna play it for you. And for the organ, I use the vintage organ B3. And I work a little bit with the rotor cabinet. Put some put some horn distortion, and the acceleration, I just turn it a little down. Cool, now let's listen to all of these together. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you like this recreation. As you can see, it's a song that the pieces are very, very clean. There's not multiple arrangements and things like that. It's just like the instruments that need to be there, and the combination is really clean, really nice, very yeah, electronic. And that's the cool thing about Joe Jackson, that he explores different types of sound, from ska, from rock, punk, new wave, and classical music. So he's a multi-talented musician. And again, I don't know why he's not bigger, because I think he's a multi-talented musician. Let me know what you think about this song, Stepping Out. When is the first time that you listen to this song? And what are your thoughts about Joe Jackson? Also, you're going to get the stems available on my Patreon, as always, and on the membership. So you are going to be able to download the stems. If you make a remix or something, please tag it in the comments, or tag me, tag Nostalgic Explorer, and I will be more than happy to check it out. So thank you so much again, and see you in another nostalgic exploration.